it's Brooklyn. You're watching another Supernatural review, and this is season 4, episode 15, Death Takes a Holiday. New here, I do a recap and review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. I totally forgot this episode. I was watching and I was like, what? And I didn't remember this episode, so I looked at the description first, and then I was like, okay, wait, I slightly remember this episode. And then the episode started, I was like, wait, I'm not remembering, I'm getting confused with another episode that I slightly remember that I think is actually from season 5. But anyway, I didn't really remember this episode. I don't know if I've ever rewatched this episode, so this might be my first time rewatching the episode. And obviously as the episode went along, I'm like, oh yeah, this was an episode, yeah, it was an episode, kind of remembering, but also not really. I just don't know what the writers did with this one, why they wrote this episode. And it's kind of crazy because I did put it on my worst list for season 4, but I have other episodes that are worser than this episode. And actually, when I was watching this episode, I'm like, it's an okay episode, but it's bad okay. It's one of the bad episodes, but it's okay. It's just I don't know, it's just, there's nothing good about this episode, but maybe there's nothing bad about it either. Maybe there's some things that are bad, but it isn't some of the episodes where I was this is just bad. I don't know. So I think this episode feels more serialized. I think it actually is very much in the middle of serialized and episodic, because it isn't too serialized and there are elements of episodic. So I think it's hard to really say, but I do lean towards the more serialized side. I think it was something where they're we have this thing in season 4 with the 66 seals. We need an episode with a seal. We haven't had an episode in a while that are about the seals or about angels or whatever, so they wanted an episode. But I feel the possibilities for what they could do with these 66 seals is endless. And they just, this episode, it's just not a good idea what they did with this episode. I don't know. I guess maybe the idea of, killing Reapers is interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's just, the direction they went with it. I'm not exactly sure. But I feel there's so many great ideas you could do with the 66 seals, and that's just where they fall flat. And it's crazy because there's so many good episodes in season 4 that have nothing to do with the seals. So it's crazy there's episodes about the seals that are just so bad. I just don't get it. I really don't get it with the writer's room. Me analyzing it, it's it really just goes to show that the bad episodes of season 4, these specific seasons, you just completely forget. You just completely forget them. I think maybe the writers like the idea of the boys kind of being dead, but they weren't really dead. They were astro projecting or something. So it just doesn't make sense. And we actually see in season 5 where they are dead and they're in heaven, and I think that's a good episode. I can't really remember. When we get there, but it's something where I think they want to do this idea and they were trying to force to do it in this way, and it just didn't work, and it made sense when they did it in season 5 or whatever. I mean, it's interesting that the Reaper is taken. It is a unique idea, so I have to give it props to that. And so they try this thing called I already said it before, astro projecting, and they bring in Pamela, which technically this is the 3rd episode we see her, which is kind of weird. It doesn't feel like it's the 3rd episode. I think that's why it's weird. But it's also at the end, does she die? I forget if this is how she dies. And it's also this thing where Supernatural just kills off the woman. And so it's something where it's death happens in TVs and movies. It does, whatever. But I feel it makes sense in times, and sometimes you just kill off characters for no reason. It's just it's what? And I feel Supernatural has that, where they just kill off women, and it's just literally for no reason, just because they don't want to bring this character anymore. She's only in a few episodes. They didn't need to kill her off. It didn't add anything to the story too. It just so I don't even know if she actually died. I was a little bit confused. I'm ugh. I was also not fully paying attention because the episode isn't the greatest. But then they had it where the ghost boy, whatever, who he was teaching them how to do their ghost powers. And that just felt so cringy to watch, and just not whatever. And I feel probably from the writer's room, it seems a cool concept, the boys learning how to be ghosts or whatever. But it just was so dumb. And it was just what is this? And it was and so then the Reaper that we've seen before in the beginning of season 2, episode 1, which actually is a good episode, is the same reboot they brought back, Tessa, and I actually like this actress. I don't know exactly the reason why they brought her back. Maybe they liked her as an actress too, but it just like felt weird. And then like she had to like kiss Dean so he could, like, it just felt, it was like weird that she was back. Like it just didn't make sense and it felt forced and not right. So anyway, at the end of the day, they kind of saved the day, and then Cass comes. And Cass was like, we couldn't get in because of the angel mark. I don't know, but then it was just like weird. I don't know, maybe I'm just like, this episode was weird. I don't know. I think that's the thing with Supernatural. Sometimes they try to do so many things, like they take a risk, they try to do things, and sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. And I don't really know like the way to like, well, obviously I can't time travel and tell the writers like this is what you can do so that risk pays off. Like I can't tell them obviously that, but like just like analyzing it, like I'm not that they share like how I can help, like what pays off and what doesn't pay off. And I feel like sometimes when they force things too much, it doesn't pay off. And like they have taken risks and like a lot of those risks have paid off, but like they just like take that risk and they do it. But then I think when they try to do too much, maybe that doesn't work. I don't really know. You know, comment below what your thoughts are, but I'm kind of in this video here. So it's kind of like, felt like a weird episode. Felt okay. It was very serialized, but like not good. And it's just like, they could have done better. And so that's why it's probably gonna be on the top 5 worst episodes of season 4. We will see. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.